Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. Our party has a plan.
Yeah, we're going to spy on someone. Yeah, that's the plan. Well, you spy on someone, I'll be a safe distance away because I'm not sneaky, and you're a rogue.
I take offense to that word.
Oh, do we call you a thief instead of rogue?
Oh my god.
Which one's worse? What's worse, rogue or thief?
I don't like either. I'm unique. I have a certain set of skills.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Oh, you'll be a hitman. Okay. Hitman.
All right. Well,
We had some of those in my organization back in the day. See Assassin for more details, chat.
so now what?
We'll head over to the address and scope it out.
The address? Yeah.
We're gonna first let's scope out what's her name? Chloe's house. We should scope out Chloe's house first. Cleo.
But are you sure we shouldn't check Spud first?
I just want to make sure he's not there already.
Oh, okay.
I want to get a feel of like what she's got going on, because maybe she has a husband, right? Like we can get a lot more context of what's going on. Because what if we go over there and I spy on them, and she has a husband and kids, and she's happy and she's living it up, and like it's like, are we sure that? And so like I just want a little bit of context.
All right. Well, you have to get close and get, because we'll stand out there because we're human sized. I mean, I'm half elf, but humans like you are a little taller, so we're going to stand out. So you've got to be sneaky and do the stuff, because I'll stay back and give you support. I've got some spells and such, but I have to make sure my spells are memorized for the day before we head out the bar. All right, so what have I got? Yeah, I'll just put... Yep, okay, I'm done, Neal.
All right.
This one's numbers next to them. So I can back you up. Like if you're in trouble, I can color spray some enemies or heal you up. But I think the sneaking stuff...
Yeah, so wait.
What?
There's a lot. You're telling me to sneak. You're telling me to do. These are a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I'm gonna go and walk up to the house.
All right.
I'm gonna ask if I can stay in the barn or stay with them. I'm traveling. I'm a little bit away from home, and I'm just looking to rest. Like this is
whatever method you want.
My
you go ahead and do that, man.
Yes. Okay. Then we're gonna do that.
I'll be a distance away because I am not good at lying. Lied, Wyatt.
You said the way Rose described it was her farm, and there's a little ways, and then there's a left, and then there's Chloe's farm. So maybe you should hang out right at that turn, Wyatt.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so I'll leave him there, and I'll just start making my way up to...
Yeah.
I find a good hiding spot, Neal.
Take a walk down to the suburbs, find Rose and Spud's house. It's, later in the afternoon, but it's still not too dark out yet. And it looks pretty quiet around there. There's no candles lit within. The big, large, round windows are just darkened. You can see that the farm extends like beyond the house, like the house is near the street, and then like the field is back there. It's not a huge farm. It's maybe like an acre-ish total. There's a small little barn that is between that house and the next house over. It looks like they might share a mule or something. And you can go down the road until you hit the fork, and you take the left, and you can see, sure enough, there's Cleo's house down the way, as was described to you. And it's at this fork that Wyatt waits while Tiberius explores.
I tried not to be visible from the road. Like, is there a hiding spot nearby, Neal?
Sort of, but like you'd have to climb someone's tree or hide in a bush on someone's property. So you could hide, but if you got like seen by a random person, what?
Yeah, how far away do I have to be, Neal, to be properly concealed?
I don't know. You're a human in a halfling suburb. You stick out like a sore thumb.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking for like.
Just take your shoes off, Wyatt. Take your shoes off. Go to your knees and put your knees on your shoes and just stand right? I mean, I'm gonna like start pulling out stuff to do disguise. I can do this. I can try to put you.
You can do disguises. I can't do disguises.
I can do disguise on you. I can make you look like a halfling.
You can try and hide yourself from Cleo's place if you want. It just might look a little awkward if someone else comes by and sees you like lurking in a bush.
Yeah,
you know?
I just wanted looking for how far away is it? Like 100 meters, 200 meters? How far away do you have to be to use your measurement scale if you want? But
let's see. The house is about 100 yards down the way. So if you want to be lurking around the corner, you just got to be like, it's not about a distance apart, it's about the cover between you. So you just got to find a spot to lurk.
I want a place where I could just hang out and wait without being really seen by the locals.
Maybe break into someone's house and watch from their windows?
No.
Yeah, well, then if you're in like public space, then you're gonna be seen by possibly seen by locals, right? That's just the way it's gonna be.
You can always just be standing right behind me, and they won't see you.
Yeah, I'll just wait by the main road, Neal, and not go into the suburb.
Yeah.
If I'm look, a cleric of Malka's looking around is going to draw attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're walking with a noble.
Yeah, you're going to draw attention. You can draw as much, but unless you're. Oh, are you wearing your noble clothes or your rogue clothes?
I have rogue armor. I have my armor on, but I have like a nice cloak over.
So you're not even sneaking a little. All right. I'm staying at the main road, Neal. He can go investigate.
Okay, I'll come back and get you and let you know what's going on at Chloe's house.
Right.
I forget her name.
Yeah, it's Cleo, and there's Rose, and there's Spud.
Cleo, yeah.
All right.
I
just
you walk on over.
I walk through the suburb straight up. Like anybody that sees me, I give them a nod and a smile, and walk right up to Cleo's.
Yeah, there's some people out. Most folks are either still working in the fields or maybe like returning home from the day's work, but it's not quite time. There's still a few hours, a little bit of sunlight left in the winter. So you come on up to Cleo's house and give me a perception check as you approach. 19. All right, cool. You approach the front door. Don't worry about it.
There's nothing.
It's nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Is there people outside, or do I have to knock?
There's no one outside.
Yeah, I'll knock gently.
A little rap on the door, and there's a pause. You can hear some like shuffling inside, and then the door cracks open a little bit, and there's a little halfling woman head poking out, being like, "Hello," but she only like opens the door enough to like for her head to open. You know, it's the kind of the awkward door opening where it's not like hello. It's
I'm getting
hi.
the vibe. Okay, I'm gonna be like, excuse me, in halfling. I'm gonna be like, excuse me, are you Cleo?
I am. And who are you? My lordship? She says, kind of guessing at your nobility.
My name is Tiberius. I'm from Berkshire, and I've been tasked with busy work by my god-awful older brother to collect produce and stuff from around the towns, and I heard word that your turnips are delicious. Can you show me some, or?
Of course. Come on in. And she swings the door open all the way and motions you in. And that's not you're gonna have to like Gandalf your way in, like kind of hunch over a little bit, but you can fit sort of. And you step on in. And there's Cleo. She's got like a big bag of turnips that are fresh with dirt from today's harvest. And behind her is another halfling and a small child halfling. And they're like hanging out in the living room. And the other halfling is like looking over at you kind of curious. And the little halfling has got like a square block and another square block. And he's stacking them and then pulling out the bottom one. It falls over and he tries to stack it, but he's only got the two blocks.
Oh my God. I am like immediately like, this is the most gorgeous child I have ever seen. And I start like playing with the block with him too, like interacting with him. If he's like if that nonverbal cue is there, that it's okay. He's not scared by me. Because I know I'm like 6'4", 300 pounds walking into this little house. I'm
Yeah. The halflings weigh like 50, 60 pounds. You dwarf the little creatures. But the little guy doesn't seem to be too bothered by you. He kind of like looks over at you with the big eyes and is like...
As I'm playing, I'm going to say this is an adorable house and an adorable little town. I've been walking through these adorable suburbs collecting. I thought this was going to be a boring, useless, annoying task. And you halflings are some of the finest people. I'm so glad I took those years of halfling in school to learn this, because this has been a very pleasant experience.
Well, aren't you just the sweetest? Now, here's my turnips. And she like pulls out a bag of turnips, and what can you say? They're kind of red, green stalks.
I start like trying to get dirt off of them a little bit. I pull out my dagger and I like cut a sliver, and I take a bite of it. And are they fresh? Are they crisp?
They are fresh out of the earth, as fresh as turnips can be. Solid quality, I don't know if your character likes turnips or not, but if you do,
no.
Well, then they're terrible.
Don't. But I put on a face like I do, and I say these are going to be perfect, and this is so lucky because this is the last thing I had to get today. The problem is I'm so beat. Do you, by chance, happen to have...
That's funny. That's really good.
Unintentional, but thank you. But I'm just so tired. Is there a barn I can stay at for the night until morning? Or a place that I can just hang out until sun comes up?
I suppose...
You can put me up in your barn. That's fine.
Oh, sure. Of course we can put you in the barn. That'll be fine. Seems a little surprised, but rolls with it. Let me show you to the barn. Oh,
thank you.
But how many turnips did you want? Were you gonna make a weekly order, monthly order?
We'll work out the details probably when I come back. I just wanted to know where I was gonna get them from. It's not a huge order. It'll be probably what I see right here.
Okay. She looks at a little downcast that you weren't going to order, huge supplies of turnips, but she'll show you to the barn. And in the barn, you'll find a well-fed mule. You'll find a plow. You'll find, all the tools that you would need to properly run a farm. And like the other halfling, it appears that this little barn is between two properties, and they must share the mule and the tools in this area. And there's a little bit of a hayloft up there where you can plop yourself and be comfortable.
While I was inside still, I want to get a very good look at the male halfling that was there.
Oh yeah.
Did we get a description of the husband?
I don't think you did. No.
I don't think we did. But I want to I'm going to remember who that guy is.
Yeah. You get a good look at his face. He's playing with this other little halfling kid. The two look sort of similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. When she leaves me to the barn, I'm just gonna sneak out and head back to Wyatt.
Sure. You can meet up with Wyatt in the streets as the sun is beginning to go down.
Hey.
Okay, Wyatt. She has a husband, but we didn't get a description of the cheater, did we?
No, we didn't get Spud's description, but we can. That's what I thought. We go to the house and see him.
Yeah. Now we'll do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting here because, as I said, I'm not good at sneaking. But if there's something comes up, just call me over.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll head back in and.
Sure. You turn around, leaving your friend to head back towards the halfling house when you see a halfling leaving that same house and coming down your direction. Looks like the guy that was just in there with the kid has left the house, and he's coming your way.
Are we standing at that turn, that left turn? That
I'm on the main road. I was well.
Oh, you're on the main road, like outside of the suburbs.
Yeah, I didn't want to
so you have to go
I see him going to that turn.
Right, so you see him you see him come around the turn, head back the other way. I guess you'd have a different perspective. So you see the halfling that was in the house with Cleo leaving or coming around the corner and heading into Rose's house.
I'm gonna say, do you see that?
It's a halfling. What about it?
He was the one inside of Cleo's house right now.
Are they polygamous? What?
Are halflings? Do they? It makes sense. The little communities, and they all kind of look the same. Anyway, this is okay. I'm gonna follow.
Look, do you want to turn in favor him now, or do you want to do an investigation? I don't care.
We're gonna investigate. I'm gonna investigate, and I will be back.
All right.
I'm gonna attempt to. I'm gonna leave my cloak with Wyatt, so I just have my leather armor on, and I'm gonna attempt to follow this guy sneakily.
Well, he's gone into the house.
Yeah, I want to sneak. If I seen him go into the house, I want to sneak up to the house and just try to hear what's going on inside.
Yeah, you see him arrive at Rose's house. He produces a key from his pocket, unlocks the door, goes on in, shuts the door behind him.
Scandalous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Well, I didn't see them do anything though. He was playing with the kid?
He was playing with the kid.
We need more information. I'm gonna continue staking at the house. I'm gonna listen to inside. Do I only hear him?
Yeah, you hear him moving around inside. He seems like he's moving dishes or cleaning dishes or something. Hear him clanking back and forth.
I might check in with the Wizard Towns if they do parent tests. See if this paternity tests. No, I just want to see how much it would cost to make spells.
Well,
and what do they need?
Is there a paternity spell? A wizard
another episode, but
there has to be a wizard of some sort that has been commissioned by some noble that's like, my wife. There has to be
paternity test. There's got to be a spell for that.
Okay.
But while Tiberius is peering in, or listening to what's going on here, Wyatt, you see Rose coming on back from her shopping. She's got a couple of baskets, one on each arm, filled with goods that you might get from the town. And she's coming down the road. She sees you and gives you the polite nod, but tries to not talk to you.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
do what you said.
I just nod and leave her be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait. I don't want my presence to be known to Rose as she comes up. I want to eavesdrop on them as they're there together. If she even goes there, maybe she goes somewhere else. Who knows?
Yeah, no, Rose comes on back.
Okay.
She goes to her house. If she sees you, she'll give you the similar sort of nod and bob, but not really pay too much attention. And then, goes up to the door, goes to open it, walks on in, and you can hear the husband on the inside in halfling being like, "How was the market today?" And Rose being like, "Oh, it took a little longer than expected, but I got the hammer that we needed, and the blacksmith was out of nails, so we'll have to go back again." And list of the things that she was buying in town, followed by a, "Wait a minute, the dishes aren't done? I thought I left you to do the dishes hours ago." And he's like, "Oh, well, a neighbor came by, needed some help, so I had to go over to the house next door and, help him with their horse. Bruce always has problems shoeing the horses, and so he needed another hand there to steady the foot." And Cleo's...
I'm gonna make my way to the front and knock now.
"Oh, hold on." And she comes and opens the door and sees you and goes, "Hello there, human. What are you doing? How may I help you?"
Are you Spud? Or is Spud your husband?
"Spud's my husband. I'm Rose."
"Oh, is he home? Can I speak with him?"
"Spud, doors for you!" she hollers. And a few moments later, the other halfling shows up and he sees you. And it quickly registers on his face and he goes a little stiff and pale. "Hello there."
"I thought this isn't Cleo's house, is it?"
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? He says. No, this is my house."
I mean, I'm not. Maybe I think all halflings look the same. Maybe I don't think I think that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw you at the house around the corner, right?
Rose, her silence is deafening. Her look is scathing. And Spud goes, "Well, after I helped Bruce with the shoe, Cleo needed some help. She came by and needed some help moving some bags of turnips, so I went to help her out with that. So yeah, I was over there. Weren't you supposed to be sleeping in a bar?
I'm gonna grab Spud by the scruff of his shirt and pull him out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go and take a walk to Chloe's house.
Unhand me, you human! Put me down.
No, I'm taking him. I have him like by an arm, and I'm walking to the house.
And with your 17 strength, it's not a problem to haul him away. Wyatt, where are you?
I'm on the main road still, but if I hear a commotion, I'll move over. But
Sure.
It probably looks really funny.
Well, I'll come over and intimidate if I'm needed, but I'm staying a distance away still at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just dragging him over to Cleo's house.
Yeah. I'm just watching to see what happens at this point.
Well, you drag him down onto Cleo's house. He stops squealing and protesting. He doesn't want to be like embarrassed in front of his whole community that he's being hauled off. And you arrive at Cleo's door. He kind of whispers to you, "Weren't you supposed to be in the barn? What are you doing?"
Malchus works in mysterious ways, Spud.
Well,
and I'm gonna take him and I'm gonna knock a little bit more aggressively on Cleo's door.
Uh-huh. Yep, and she will open it and look at you, haul it. Was the barn not to your liking?
Not exactly. And I'm gonna motion her for her to step out. Is Rose following us?
She has walked to the corner and is like peering down the street watching you, but not, within earshot.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna set Spud down, looking at Chloe. I'm so bad with
it's Cleo.
Okay, and I'm gonna go into my pack and pull out some rope, and I'm gonna start tying up Spud slowly. I'm just gonna start wrapping it around him from the waist and start going up.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be like, "Do you understand that adultery is against the law in this land, right?"
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He says.
You see, up until a few years ago, I really didn't care about anything other than my wine and the ladies, and it dawned on me that there's some injustices happening out here. Some fornications happening out here. And I'm tightening the rope. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, a while back, I met a wizard who gave me this rope. You know what this rope does?
He shakes his head.
When you lie, it turns you into a newt.
Cleo steps out and goes, "No, wait, don't do it."
Cleo, you're so concerned. You're so concerned about this fellow farmer. Is that the sense of community that I feel, or is it something deeper?
Two of them kind of in the public domain, but everyone's like going home for the night, so no one's quite around yet, but any moment someone could look out and see them. They're getting real nervous. And she said, "What do you want? What are you here for? Why are you picking on us? What have we ever done to you?"
I want the truth. And I want respect given to Rose. And no respect has been given thus far.
That bitch. Cleo mutters.
I put my hand up like I'm gonna hit her. And I restrained myself, though. I restrained myself, but I put my hand up.
What do you want? Spud says. What?
You and Cleo and Rose are coming with me to Berkshire, and we're gonna straighten all of this out.
Can't we just do it here?
No, can't do it here. It wouldn't be legal if it was done here.
Cleo says, "I have a son. I can't leave him. He can't stay alone."
You can bring your son. I love hanging out with your son. I'll put him on my shoulder and we'll go walk down tomorrow morning.
You're not gonna hurt him, are you?
No, of course. I'm not here to hurt anybody. All I want is for things to be put in order.
All right. Well, she will go inside and scoop up her kid and says, "When we get to Berkshire, I'm going to tell the sheriff what you've done. Abduction is a crime."
That's fine. And I'm gonna grab the halfling by the rope, and I'm just gonna carry him like a briefcase all the way to town. As we pass by Wyatt, I'm gonna be like, "We got our proof. Let's go."
All right. I'll go get the tar and feathers.
Grab Rose in tow, and she's a little concerned. Everyone seems a little surprised at what's going on, but they'll stay quiet for the walk back. Spud has never been so humiliated.
Where would I buy tar? Because I know there's tar pits nearby, so...
You
can rent tar for tar and feathering?
You cannot rent tar. You have to buy it. And it'll come in these big, like, what do you call them? Like, either chunks or, like, little flat, I almost want to call them spatulas, but I don't know the proper term, like sheets of tar. So it'll come in, like, hardened but sticky tar form. You'll have to melt it down yourself.
All right,
to a nice boiling point.
I'll work on that while they're doing the legal stuff.
Okay.
Feathers should be easy. It's just the tar I was concerned about.
Yeah, I want to make it clear. I don't know if we're going to RP the court shit, but I want to make it clear in the court that not only is this guy getting a divorce, but he is getting tarred and feathered.
Well, you'll have to wait till tomorrow because it's nighttime, and the courts are already closed and everything. So what are you going to do tonight with them?
We're going to go to the sheriff.
Okay.
And
You
I'll
arrive
explain-
at
yeah.
the sheriff's station.
I'm going to plop down my tied up halfling on a chair.
As you approach the sheriff's station, Spud starts to protest, being like, "No, wait, I can explain. Please, we don't have to take this to the courts. We don't have to send me in jail. I swear, I've done nothing wrong. Well, one thing, but nothing wrong."
Spud.
I swear I can explain.
Games. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to an affair.
You didn't mean to? You didn't.
No,
Oh, just
I
slipped
didn't.
in.
It was.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stand him up. I'm gonna go down to a knee. I'm gonna look him in the eye. I'm gonna say, "Explain to me. Explain to me why you cheated on your wife. Give me a good reason."
And Rose, hands on the hip, said, "Yeah, I want to hear this too." And Cleo quickly interjects before Spud has a chance to answer and says, We're in love and we'll be forever. And he, Rose doesn't deserve my Spud." And Rose will respond back, "Well, what about your husband, Rose? Cleo, what about him, huh? He's always out and traveling. Why you gotta steal other husbands just because yours isn't around anymore?" And to all of this, Spud kind of just mutters under his breath, "Oh God, what have I done? I didn't mean to get us in this sort of trouble. I admit it, I had a one-time affair with her. One time. It was just one night, and I
think your skin's turning green. I think you're turning into a newt. Was that a lie? Was it one time?
No, I swear it was one time. It was just the one time. It was just the one time. And I didn't even like her before this. I never liked her before this. I don't know what came over me. We were having tea, and then the last thing I knew, we were on top of each other in the throes of passion, and then when I finally came to my senses the next day, I was horrified, terrified. That's why I never said anything to you, Rose. I love you so much. I didn't mean to do it.
Son. Why were you at her house playing with her son the day that I caught you?
That's my son.
Oh.
We're gonna need that paternity spell, I guess.
Okay, starters, she drugged you. That's why you were in passionate love. So you weren't actually in love with her. She just drugged you. Okay?
I knew it. I knew I would never be in love with her. She's not my type at all. I'm not that sort of man.
So she drugged you and raped you. Then she had a child by you. Yeah. Okay. She's in tar and feathered, not you.
I think they both need to be tarred and feathered.
He's a victim of this. He got raped by her. She used the love potion on him.
Well, okay. We're doing a lot of judgments outside of this sheriff's office, outside of the sheriff's office in the middle of the night. Maybe we should see what the courts have to say about this.
Okay. Well, it's too late to use a detect charm spell, so how would you just work out if she was charmed? Is there no truth?
Chloe,
I don't.
Chloe, let me see your hands. I'm gonna grab her hands.
She
and look at
holds her hands
nails.
out to you.
I want to look at her hands. What do her hands look like?
They are rough. They're dirty. Dirt's still under the fingernails. They look like the hands of a woman who's worked her whole life, worked in the earth, had to like provide for her family while her husband's out. You know, maybe he's making some money, but she's the one doing all the turnip digging.
Look at her hands, Wyatt. This isn't the hands of a witch. This is the hand of a farmer.
No, you buy love potions in town.
True. I throw her hands down. Disgust. I'm like, did you buy
He's
love
not there.
potion?
He's-
No, I know.
Okay,
Did you buy love potion and put this on this poor man, or did he seduce you? I'm sitting cross-legged now on the ground. I'm like, this is the tea. I want to know.
She looks to Wyatt. Are you really gonna let this happen?
I'm a cleric of Malchus.
I know. Are you not here to?
He's not going to save you. He's not here to save you. He's here to cause as much craziness as possible.
Come on. This scene right now is more craziness than me just letting you go on as you have been. Isn't that right?
I knew I
If
should
you
have
had
never
chat with
trusted a cleric of Malchus. She mutters to
Wait,
herself.
We just met. We just met. We just met. Why would you trust me? Anyway. Okay.
Because it was maybe not you, but it was your kin who gave me the potion. You're absolutely right. You're 100%. It was a love potion. We're meant to be together. He just didn't realize it yet.
I looked at Rose. I looked at Rose wide-eyed. It wasn't of his own volition. He had no agency.
He was raped. He's
How
a victim
old's the
of
child?
this.
She asks. And
I looked at the child.
halfling years. This kid's probably like 3 or 4. Then why is it that you didn't tell me after 4 years that you had a secret child and you just went around behind my back, spending time with the kid and hanging out with this woman who had drugged you? You didn't even tell me. If we were in an honest marriage, you would have told me what had happened and we would have worked through it together. Instead, you had secrets behind my back and made me think that you were cheating on me for years and years and years. It's a lack of communication that's the real problem with this.
Yeah, well, Spider is not blameless in this regard, but I'm just saying, legally speaking, he's the victim here. Okay, because when you get victimized and traumatized like this, you make illogical decisions, and sometimes males who are in this position don't come forward publicly because they think, oh, I'm a man, this can't happen to me. People won't believe this happened to me. The system is biased against both sides in this regard.
More biased towards women, but in this specific instance,
yes, that's what I meant.
In this very specific instance, I think that Spud doesn't deserve quite as bad of a punishment. Still tar and feathered in my book.
Are you sure?
But I don't know about maybe the divorce is off the table because maybe,
Well, okay, they can get a counselor therapy.
Look at this guy.
If they want to get divorced, they can get divorced. But
he's been raising this child in secret. Imagine the amount of guilt and turmoil he lives with every day.
no, I think some therapy a couple's therapy between these two is good. Tarot therapy for Cleo, of course.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, and plus whatever legal ramifications for her
Of course, yes.
Because this was not consensual actions at all.
No, I mean, and she farms turnips. Nobody's gonna miss the farm. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna miss the farm?
Okay, now I think we're in a good spot here. Let's go to talk to the sheriff, have her arraigned for her heinous act here, and tomorrow we'll have a trial. A trial.
I'm on board.
Through all of this, Spud just says, Rose, you want to divorce me? After everything we've been through? After 40 years of marriage?
Oh, 40 years.
Well, they're
Halflings live a long
halflings, so-
time, yeah.
True. That's still a long time, though.
It's a long time.
Hats off to you guys. I mean, I know it's on the rocks right now, but I mean, that's 40 years. Wow. Okay. Divorce shouldn't be your first. Rose, come on. I'll let you guys talk. Sorry, I'm butting in.
Yeah, let the NPCs talk with each other. That's what Neal loves.
Rose and Spud will discuss in hushed tones so you can't overhear their problem. While Cleo still unbound, says, "Well, I'm not standing for any of this." And she, child still in arms, turns and heads back towards her
Pepper
village.
spray. You're going to the sheriff's
1d6.
office, rapist.
Roll me a 1d6.
But she's not. Honestly,
She's got a child in her arms. You might color spray the infant, but not the woman. All right,
got
they
both.
both go down. Okay, all
all
right.
right. Okay.
Great way to put
let's-
kids to sleep, by the way. Just color spray your babies.
Well, that's only a temporary solution. They wake up after.
Yeah, but hopefully they won't wake up crying. You know, it's like a reset button. You turn it off and on again. All right. Well, you
To
can.
the sheriff's office.
You're at the sheriff's office. You can have her
She
be
admitted
put
to
in
rape
jail.
outside. We've got a noble witness. Like, she's.
What are you gonna do
Yeah.
with the child?
Well,
You can't just leave the baby in jail.
No, the baby's going.
What do you think this is, America?
I'm gonna.
Neal.
Sorry,
scale it
I'm
back.
sorry. I
The
can't.
politics is bleeding in today, man.
Racist
Bleeding.
politics.
I'm so
Neal.
sorry.
Racist politics.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, now the child can go with the father. I know it's a tenuous situation, but he has responsibilities, even though he wasn't like, he still is the father.
Yeah, this
Even
is
if-
weird. This is an awkward situation because on one
very awkward
hand,
situation.
it is his child, it is his responsibility,
Well, it's
but
up to
he
him.
didn't do it
Yeah,
of his
it's up-
own agency.
Yeah, it's up to the father what happens with the child. This Cleo has no agency now after what she did.
True. You're getting the band hammer, Cleo.
All right. Well, you can easily lock up Cleo. A noble showing up with a halfling in tow saying that she's committed crimes and needs to be locked in jail. They don't even question. No ask for evidence. No, like, what'd she do? Just, oh, yeah, toss her in. We got a special jail for halflings. The bars are closer together so they can't slip out. Great. They chuck her in.
All right.
What are you going to do with Spud and Rose tonight?
Well, Spud and Rose, they're all free to go. We wanted to know, you're free to go with your son. I know this is an awkward situation, but things still need to be sorted out legally.
You're
and
asking him to bring home that child into my house?
Rose.
Yes, I am.
Rose.
They're
Listen.
both victims in this.
Listen.
You know
That
this,
child is
Rose.
blameless.
Don't
What kind
blame
of
the
person
child,
would you
Rose.
be if you turned away a child? The child is someone that you love.
Ooh.
He didn't do this on purpose. At least
a
that's what
victim.
that's what's being claimed. I think that you two, after 40 years of being together, have a lot to talk about. But the one thing that needs to be talked about right now is the fact that this child needs a home. Spud is the father, and you are Spud's wife. You got to step up.
And
She
none of this
hangs her head in
resentment for
shame.
20 years. And none of this 20 years of resentment that you just hate the child for years and years and years and then treat him cruelly. You got to be loving,
True.
accepting.
This child did nothing to you.
They will take the child and head back to the village. Cleo will be put in jail for the night, pending a trial.
Oh,
Uh,
she's guilty, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know if you need a
what-
trial. You've got a
Guilty.
noble's opinion here.
Yeah, yeah. But, well, what is
Guilty.
the sentence for rape in this country?
Ooh, that's a question I've never had to answer before.
I know we tend to avoid the subject, but I mean,
Yeah.
And this was
Yeah.
a specific kind of rape because there was substances involved.
This is sexual assault, rape, and it's mind control at the same time. Love potions are mental domination potions. That is, a form of enslavement, temporary as it may be. But this is a very serious accusation. I don't think you are executed for this, but you might be in jail for a really long time. Maybe executed. It depends on the, I guess,
well, he's not a noble, so
Yeah, they're not nobles. I think this is one of those situations where it comes down to the heinousness of the crime
You know
and
what?
the
I would
opinion of
argue-
the judge.
I would argue that it's not even really all her fault either. I mean, it is mainly
it's
her fault.
entirely.
But if you look at the situation she was coming from, she had a husband that was never there.
I'm sorry, that doesn't excuse rape.
It doesn't. I'm not saying that it does, but it does give a little bit of context to the situation. It's not like she did it purely because she just wanted to rape somebody.
I'm sorry, I don't. Or if the noble's saying this, I can't argue with that. His word's way above me.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mind
a sticky
control,
situation.
though, just because you're lonely?
Oh no, she deserves punishment. I'm not saying she doesn't, but
Right,
I don't know if she
so-
deserves a straight execution.
Yeah.
Maybe we should investigate her husband. Where's her husband at? Maybe the husband of her is going around and it goes full circle, and her and Rose are together.
Well, okay.
Whoa, my God.
Oh my!
I think you're reaching there. I think you're reaching.
I do that. Sorry,
I think you're reaching.
I get excited.
She admitted to the crime in front of you. Let's just deal with the crime in front of us.
Yeah, that's okay. That makes more sense.
All right.
Yeah, she goes to jail for a long time.
Yeah, well, I think the next day, that's a pretty straightforward thing. You can bring her before a judge. Actually, you don't quite have a judge. You would bring her before the mayor. Oh, no, this is a serious crime.
Wouldn't care about this.
If this was like robbery or like petty theft, the mayor and the local town would be in charge. But this is a serious crime. This is mind control and sexual assault.
So
this goes before the Baroness. She has to be able to judge this one.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go before the Baroness.
Well, to be honest, I think it's going to go very straightforward. She's confessed.
Exactly.
You've got a cleric on hand to witness it, cleric of Malchus, but a cleric nonetheless, and a nobleman. And you've all heard the accusation. It's all clear. Or you've heard the confession. So it's a pretty open and shut case. The Baroness will decide the punishment.
I would ask the Baroness, the last thing I would say to her before she makes her decision is that this punishment, while it should be a punishment, we should take into account that this wasn't done purely out of malicious intent.
Oh my goodness.
She
I don't like
listens
this.
to your argument. Let's hear it.
Her husband, an absent husband, a husband that supposedly has no love for her. These halflings, they require intimacy. They require love with each other. A halfling left alone is no halfling at all. And that's true for us as humans, dwarves as well. We all need affection of some sort. And when we're being deprived of it by the one person who's supposed to be providing it, it leads us down dark, dark roads. These decisions made and these mind frames are wrong and they're bad and they should be punished. But it's different than somebody doing it just to be an asshole.
Language in front of the Baroness.
This into consideration, and the halfling in question, Cleo, speaks to her defense. How can it be wrong if it's the will of the gods? I prayed to Malchus. He gave me a love potion.
I didn't give
It's
you
the will
anything.
of the gods. Maybe not you, but another cleric of Malchus did. And if the gods are going to give me a love potion, how is to say that that is wrong? If that is the will of the gods, it must be divine and it must be right. Therefore, it cannot be a crime.
So this love potion manifested itself in your hands
It
magically?
just magically appeared out of thin air.
I made a couple of sacrifices and, some payments to the church, and a cleric of Malchus came by a couple days later and brought me the love potion to solve my problems.
You actively seek this out, though.
I might have sought it, but the gods gave it to me, and therefore it is divine and
It
just and
sounds like
right.
a cleric of Malchus gave you a
A love potion just for the
And
heck
on
of
whose
it.
behalf do clerics of Malchus work?
themselves mostly, not to be honest.
The Baroness turns to you and says, "Is that your official word on the record? That the clerics of Malchus work for themselves and not for the gods?"
Well, we wouldn't have clerical magic. The thing is, the point is Malchus says, do whatever you want. Whatever you think's most chaotic.
Are your actions not divine?
Our actions are divine in that they're chaotic, ma'am. But I would say no one person, no cleric of Malchus represents Malchus accurately because of his nature. You're great.
I mean, does Malchus even represent himself accurately?
I hear Malchus represents himself in many guises, the very contradictory ones.
See?
So I would not say this is the will of Malchus, as this is the will of a human wanting selfish desire, or halfling wanting their selfish desires fulfilled. And a cleric of Malchus would allow this to occur is bad, but I can understand my kin being a little more reckless in this regard. Do you know which cleric it was that supplied you this, and did they know your intentions?
Some human cleric, big symbol of Malchus around his neck. Came in, said, "We heard your prayers, we see your suffering, we understand how terrible your life is and how lonely you are and that you need some affection and love, and here's a potion that'll solve it. Give it to the person who you most adore and you're bound to have the intimacy you need." And my prayers were answered.
Well, it sounds like they set you up for this exact situations where there be as much chaos as possible.
Well then, it's entrapment and I'm free!
She calls.
No,
Oh shit, she's got you there, Wyatt.
no, she asked for the potion. They didn't give. She asked for it.
Yeah,
She
you
asked
know
for
what?
the-
You
she asked
asked
for
for
the
the potion. Baroness, you need to pass judgment on this halfling.
If I'm saying if a guy tried to trick her into using the potion, that's one thing. But she used the potion of her own volition.
She seeked it out.
Yeah, she made sacrifices to Malchus.
What sacrifices did you make?
Yeah,
Couple
what sort of
goats.
sacrifices? Oh,
Goats?
yeah, that's fine.
Couple goats, a bunch
sense.
of food, some gold.
Yeah.
Did the goats get counted before you sacrificed them? This is very important, actually. Baroness, could you please make sure this is recorded?
It was
Answer
4
the
years
question.
ago. It was 4 years ago.
It was
Wasn't
4
counted.
years ago, and you sacrificed goats?
I didn't know.
Ooh.
How many goats were there? This is
Two,
fraudulent.
there were 2 goats.
Oh, you goated
What was the
twice.
margin of the goat count last 4 years
Oh
ago?
my. This
The
is going to
Baroness-
shake the fabric of the reality as we know it.
The Baroness taps her rod on the marble floor,
Apologies.
calling the
Your
room to
Baroness.
silence. I am prepared to pass judgment on this poor devilish creature. Her crimes are one of her own volition. Sure, she was in a desperate situation, but that is no reason to rob another person of life, liberty, or property. Just because you are suffering does not make it okay for other people to cause suffering elsewhere. And mind control, sexual assault, these things are heinous and devious. And yet you have a child. It would be wrong to have your child grow up entirely motherless.
He wouldn't be entirely motherless.
Is there
The
another
father,
mother?
The father is married to another woman, and she has shown.
Well, in that
a
case, off to the
capacity.
dungeons with her. 30
Yeah.
years.
How
And,
long do
Grace.
halflings live?
It's a great question. I need to look that information up.
If they
wait,
live,
a
it's
100
fair
years?
to-
They live like 100 years, I think.
Well, is it fair?
It's already
to
been married
say-
40.
I'm just wondering how fair it is for longer-lived species to get longer sentences based on their life expectancy, because that seems unfair and fair at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. Like if an elf murders somebody and gets like 10 years, what is that? It's nothing. Like I would do that
nothing,
all day.
right? Yeah.
They just meditate the whole time, and they're about.
Oh. Let's see.
Because for the wiki, I just put the halfling from the book, but I don't know if you got custom halfling life expectancy.
My halflings live 1.5 times longer than humans. So if a human life expectancy is about 70, 80 years, halflings live like 140? 130?
140. Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
that's around what the book has too.
Yeah.
So she
Right.
got married when she was 20. She was married 40 years, and then she's going to be in prison 30.
No, it's not the married person. Oh wait,
No, Rose was the married for 40 years.
Oh,
Cleo,
okay.
yeah.
we don't know how
Cleo's
long
probably
Cleo's
in
been.
her 60, 70 year age. So, this will be the end of her mature adult life, and she'll be free as an elderly person.
Yeah,
That is acceptable punishment.
yeah. I
would
won't
say.
step in. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you, Your Grace.
The halflings dragged off in chains to the dungeons. The party can return to Shenanigans, have a drink.
Is the Baroness hot?
Yes, she was in the other episode, but
I don't remember. We're gonna roll.
she has an adult daughter. I'm just saying. Like, so
Oh,
she's not
how
young.
old is the Baroness and how old is the daughter?
Baroness is in 40s or 50s ish. Daughter must be early 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah.
And is
Yeah.
she in line of succession?
Well, the daughter died in the war.
Oh.
So we don't know who's next in line. If the Baroness dies, she's... Oh, okay, the
Children
Baroness also
around.
has an infant
Timelines,
son.
right? Timelines. So Baroness's daughter is actively alive at this point in time.
All right,
And-
all right.
You know, it's all
I'm
timey
fine.
wimey,
I'm not
wibbly
trying to be
wobbly.
rude.
You know,
It's your world, Neal.
Baroness is a 14 out of 18 hotness.
Well, she's.
That is
I
above
said she was hot. I was just explaining her age. I wasn't. Chat. I was not saying older people with adult daughters can't be hot. Okay. I was just explaining. 14 out of 18 is pretty good. Yes. All right. Okay, now, let's look at it in the session.
Wait,
Your
hold
brother
on.
now.
There needs to be one more thing, Baroness. One request. She has to be
Yes?
tarred and feathered.
Tarred and feathered.
Tarred and feathered. It's a promise that I made a long time ago. Well, like yesterday, but still, it's a promise I made.
Well, I'll take 5 years off her sentence then. If we're going to
Fair
tar and
enough.
feather her publicly.
Fair enough.
All right. And it is done. We're going to take our second break of the session right here. And when we come back, we will see what other trouble our party gets into because they clearly have other plans in stone. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.